Hey y'all, I'm Rylan. Welcome to my channel. It is December and I don't know how, but I'm off work today and prep for final exams, but I wanted to take a second to film my introduction for the December Mending Hearts book club pick. It is my birthday month, yay. Gonna be 23 in a couple weeks. Can't wait. So I picked the book for this month, and the book that I ended up picking was 9 Days by Joelina Falk. I think this is going to be a very sad book, but I love hockey romances. So when I was like scrolling Instagram and trying to figure out what I wanted to read for this month, I was like, sad book, yes, we're going to do it. This book is about Lily, who is trying to win the fight against depression, and I think she leaves her diary like kind of expressing how she's going to try to end her own life in the arena, and Colin finds it and he has like 9 days to convince her that like life is worth living. I think is pretty much what this book is about, and I think I'll probably cry while I read it, but like crying is my favorite thing to do when I read books, so I'm not going to complain about that if I do. But my goal is to start this one this week. My final exams are tonight and tomorrow. Yay, we can do it. It's gonna be great. But yeah, my plan is to start this book this week. I am in the middle of another reading vlog right now, and I need to start another one this weekend for Bookmas stuff. But once school is over, all I have is work. So it should be easy for me to read a bunch of books after I get off work, because I get off work so early. So fingers crossed, but that's the plan, that's the goal. I will update y'all with like a better synopsis once I get to 25% in this book. It is 375-ish pages. So every, I don't know, 90 pages or so, I'll go ahead and hop in here with an update. But let's hope I cry, because I would love to cry during my birthday month because of a book that I'm reading. I would not complain about that. So I'm obsessed with this cover. I have high hopes to cry. But I think this one is probably going to be super beautiful, and I cannot wait. And I'm also scared to start reading it. But I'll hop back in here in a couple days, hopefully with my 25% updates. Fingers crossed. I love it, but I'll share my thoughts with y'all whenever I get to 25%. I just got to 25% in 9 days, and I'm not going to lie, I was really struggling with this book for the first couple of chapters. The writing style is not my particular favorite. It feels very awkward and stilted and weird, but at the 92 page mark, I am definitely interested to see where this one is going. Even if the writing isn't the most profound, there are little moments here and there that are very sweet, and I find myself wanting to learn more about Colin and Lily, who are our two main characters. Colin found Lily's journal at the hockey arena, and in it are all of her thoughts about how she's going to end her own life in less than 2 weeks. And so he makes a deal with her. He says, give me 2 weeks, or give me 9 days to make you change your mind and make you fall in love with life again, because she is so determined to get out of it because of things that she has gone through in her life. And it's sweet so far. I'm probably going to end up getting emotional over it, but as of right now, we're not there yet. We'll see what ends up happening. I think it's very cute though. Again, the writing is still not my favorite, and maybe it's just because I've spent the past however many weeks of the semester focused so heavily on editing, and specifically editing creative writing, but I'm noticing like a lot of little things in this book that are just errors or like misspellings or like things like that. And I'm trying not to be nitpicky because I'm reading this for enjoyment or emotional pain, I guess. But like it's hard to not notice those things, and maybe that's just because I am getting a degree in English and I focus so heavily on editing that like I notice every little thing. But I'm trying to like not let it bother me because it's not the point of the story. There's still power to what is being told here, and that's what I'm trying to focus on, and it's definitely starting to work because again, 92 pages into it and I'm very much beginning to fall in love with it. We'll see what ends up happening. I do think that Colin is a very charming character, but he also already seems to really like Lily, even though he's only known her for a couple of days. Lily is an interesting character as well. I want to know more about her and why exactly her depression has led her to this point in her life, but I'm hoping that as I get farther along I get more answers. I literally just sat down and binged 70 pages since I got home from work a little bit ago, and I binged like the first 20 pages, I guess if that's even considered a binge, while I was at work today. So I should be easily able to fly through this book. Maybe I can get to 50% tomorrow night. We'll see, but now that I'm into it, I'm definitely going to be flying through it, and I can't wait to see where it goes. I'm nervous. I kind of would like to cry, but we'll see what I end up doing. I'll hop back into here when I get to 50% in this one, and fingers crossed I'm still loving it. Maybe I'll have cried by then, who knows, we'll see. But I'll hopefully hop back in a couple of days before Christmas maybe to give y'all an update on this book. Merry Christmas Eve, y'all. It is December 24th, and yesterday I went to Barnes & Noble to just kind of relax and read in their cafe, and I got to 50% in 9 days. I'm still not loving this book. It definitely has its cute moments, but the overwhelming amount of like run-on sentences and like grammar stuff is just, it's to the point where like I can't not notice it anymore because it's happening so frequently. And I feel as though some of the more like serious moments in this book are being, I don't know, like made less serious because of these various things that are going on. There are also some contradictions between some of the characters, specifically with Lily's mother. In some chapters she's good, in some chapters she seems to be borderline abusive. There's like this contradictory like element to her that Lily doesn't even acknowledge, and I feel like I don't know if it's on purpose, because I know that, you know, with abuse like those things happen, but I can't tell if like it's just like a different woman between every chapter, you know. So I'm kind of confused on that, but I do love Colin. I think his character is so sweet. He is 100% in love with this girl already, and Lily is definitely feeling things for him as well, even though she knows that she shouldn't be. So I'll be curious to see like how far we get before she realizes that life is beautiful and she decides that she does not want to end her own life. I don't know what to expect. I don't know if this is gonna have a happy ending. I assume that it's going to, but I'm a little bit nervous. I don't know. I'm kind of scared. It is a very quick read though, so I cannot complain about that. I have found some cute underline moments in this book, which is also fun. It's not my favorite read of the romance book club that we've had this year, which is kind of a bummer because this was my pick for my birthday month, but that's okay. I think we have potential for the second half of the book. I just truly need to like ignore all of the nitpicky things that I've been noticing. I'll hop back in here hopefully in a couple of days after Christmas with my 75% update. Fingers crossed I don't end up disliking it. I just feel like there are very like random things going on in this book sometimes, and some of the comments come out of nowhere about certain characters without context and I don't quite understand. And again, the mother, I'm confused as to who she really is as a person, but hopefully we get those answers in the second half of the book. But for right now, I'm going to go get ready to go hang out with some family, maybe read a little bit before I leave to do that. But I will talk to you all later. All right, y'all. So I am officially 75% of the way through 9 days. I'm scared because I don't know like how this book is going to end, but I also am not loving it. It definitely has its very cute moments, but all the things that I talked about in my last clip are still very prominent, and I'm struggling to fully immerse myself because things keep happening that take me out of the story. And I'm frustrated, but I'm also nervous for what's going to happen. I've got like 90 pages left. I think this book is like 375 pages long. So I've got about 90 pages left. And we'll see what ends up happening. I would love to finish this book today. Merry Christmas, by the way, for those of y'all who celebrate. It is Christmas Day. We're just kind of chilling. And I am tabbing it a lot still. I'm not quite sure what's gonna happen. I do not anticipate rating this book super great though, which is such a bummer because I was so excited to read it. But again, like, it's not all bad. It has its cute moments for sure. I'm just not sure that they overshadow a lot of very large contradictions and out of context inclusions in the book, and I'm starting to get bugged by how many there are, and I don't want to be getting bugged by them, but when they're so frequent, I don't know. And I hesitate to like even be negative because like I don't want to be, but like also I'm not just gonna give a book 5 stars if I didn't actually love it, of course. And I feel like my reasons for not enjoying it are kind of valid. I don't know. We'll see what ends up happening in the last 90 pages. I might still end up tearing up because this is a very sad book, I will say. I mean, content warning, huge for depression. Like, that is a big one, a huge one in this book. And it definitely plays a role in every chapter. So I'm nervous to see how we continue on with that and how it affects the plot and the characters, but I guess we will see. So I'll hop back in here one more time when I finish the book. Fingers crossed for me, maybe shoot up some good lucks or prayers or whatever for me, because I'm not quite sure what to expect with this one. I think it could hurt really bad, but I don't think this is going to be my most highly rated book for the year or for the book club this year by any means. But I'll hop back in here probably tomorrow with my final updates. It makes me sad to do this, but I ended up giving 9 days 2 stars. I finished this book last night, and I'm very disappointed in the ending. I feel as though, okay, I'm gonna put a spoiler thing right here. She mostly stayed alive because of Colin, and I feel as though that's not a good enough reason to change your mind. I feel as though to an extent she fell back in love with certain aspects of life, but I feel as though her biggest reasoning in the book for changing her mind was because of Colin. And I don't like the idea of relying on a boy to be enough, you know, in this life, because that's so not the case, and I don't love that. I also, again, I've kept saying this, the lack of context with some of the comments and the people that were included, but we don't know why their names are being thrown around because we haven't seen them throughout the rest of the book, and the contradictions in character traits and personalities and backgrounds was just very confusing to me. And while it definitely had its happy moments and its sweet moments and its fun moments, I just feel as though overall this book was not for me, which is a bummer because I did pick this one out to read for the book club this month, but I can't win them all. That's okay. I'm not sure. Well, I will not be continuing the series, actually. It's not a series, it's a companion set following the 3 other hockey players in this book, but I do not think that I will go ahead and continue on with it. This book is tricky. Like, it deals with very hard topics, but I feel as though the ending kind of lessened everything else for me because it didn't end in a way that I felt was super appropriate for what the whole book was about in terms of depression and suicidal thoughts and falling back in love with the world and like finding a reason or reasons to change her mind. But that's just me. But I did wrap this book up before January 1st, so I will take it. It's actually only the 26th, so it's only been 16 or 18 hours since my since my last update. But I did go ahead and finish up the book last night, and I'm happy to have it done, I will say. Another book club book finished. Can never complain about that. Now I can read some other things. But that's all that I have for this reading vlog. I'm very bummed out. If you would like to join us in January to kick off the new year with a bang, literally, we are going to be reading 4 and 5 by Sarah Kate and Rachel Leigh. These are two dark reverse harem romances, I believe, is what like the big trope is, like reverse harem, and it's a duet. So should be a fun time. The book's not super long. I don't have them with me, but I do have them back in my apartment, and I cannot wait to read them. I think they're going to be a lot of fun, and I look forward to reading my first book by these authors. But if you'd like to join us in reading those books, I will have our Discord and Instagram linked in the description down below. Feel free to come hang out with us. We are kicking off the new year strong and cannot wait to see what 2024 brings in terms of this book club. I have vlogged every single book we read so far. Not so far, this is the last book. I have read every single book that we've read this year, and they've been a blast. I'll have a playlist included down below in the description of all the books that we read and my thoughts on all of them. If you would like to check any of those out, we do read exclusively romance. But feel free to come hang out with us in the new year if you're looking for a new book club to join or want to start reading romance. But that is all that I have for y'all for today. Thank you so much for watching this reading vlog, and I will see you all in the next video.